Ask you something. Why do most people who work the hardest still struggle with money, while people who barely work seem to keep getting richer? It's not luck, it's not just connections, it's mindset, but not in that motivational poster kind of way. See, the rich think about money in a way that most people never will, because we were never taught to. And that's exactly what I'm gonna break down today, how the rich think about money and how that mindset silently controls every financial decision you make, and why, unless you see through it, you'll keep playing the game to lose. Because this isn't just about dollars, it's about psychology, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. We grew up being told the same script: go to school, get good grades, get a good job, save your money, don't take risks. Sounds safe, right? Except that's the exact script that keeps most people stuck. Now contrast that with how the rich grow up thinking. Money isn't something you work for, money is something you use. It's a tool like a lever. If you learn how to pull it right, it multiplies itself. There's the first mental gap between middle class and the rich. The one is trading time for money, the other is trading money for time. And until that switch flips in your head, you'll never see the game for what it really is. In this video, I'm just not gonna tell you what the rich do with money. I'm gonna show you how they think about it. And by the end, you'll see how and why the middle class works harder than ever, yet keeps falling behind. Let's start with where it all begins: beliefs. See, your relationship with money didn't start with you opened your first bank account. It started when you were a kid just listening. You probably heard stuff like that. Money just doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. We can't afford that. Every one of those sentences got stored somewhere deep in your brain. And now, even as an adult, that programming runs your financial behavior. You save because you are scared to lose. You work because you fear going broke. You play it safe because you were taught that taking risks is dangerous. Meanwhile, the rich, were raised with completely different script. Money is abundant, opportunities are everywhere, and use other people's money to grow. That mindset difference is like running two different operating systems. You might be using the same device, but one is outdated software and other is running on the latest version of reality. The truth is, if you grew up middle class, your entire mindset was built on for survival, not expansion. And survival thinking never builds wealth. Here's where most people go wrong. They think money is this finite thing. They like there's only so much to go around. But the rich, they are see money like energy. It flows toward people who know how to multiply it. When a middle class person earns more, they spend more. When a rich person earns more, they invest more. And it's not because they are stingy, it's because they understand flow. Every dollar that sits idle is losing value. Every dollar that gets invested, even imperfectly, learns to work. The middle class saves to feel safe. The rich invest to stay free. And there's the massive psychological difference. You know what's crazy? Most people are taught to saving is smart, but rich see saving as the slowest way to go broke. Why? Because inflation quietly eats away your money while you play it safe. Meanwhile, the people putting their money into assets, even risky ones, are building leverage. Let's talk leverage, the quiet weapon of the rich. Middle class people say, I can't afford that. The rich ask how I can afford that. The same sentence, different mindset. The rich use leverage in three ways. First, financial leverage, using other people's money to make money. Second, time leverage, using systems and people to multiply output. Third, knowledge leverage, using what they know how to create value. Meanwhile, the middle class trades their time for someone else's leverage. That's the brutal truth. If you're working 9 to 5 building someone else's dream, you are feeding their system to leverage. And the rich, they don't just think about what can I earn. They think what can I build that earns while I sleep. That's the mindset shift from earner to creator. Here's another difference: how they see risk. The middle class avoid risk, the rich manage risk. That one distinction changes everything, because when you avoid risk, you also avoid reward. But when you learn to manage it, you can predictably create wealth. See, to the middle class, security means a steady paycheck, and to the rich, security means control. They don't want to depend on anyone, not a boss, not the government, and not a company. They build systems, businesses, and assets that give them control. And here's the irony: the rich look calm because they are in control, not because they are not taking risk. They take bigger risk, but they have built better safety nets. That's the difference between gambling and calculated risk. And the middle class plays not to lose, the rich play to win. So, how do you start thinking like the rich, even if you don't have the money yet? Step one: stop seeing money as the goal. See it as a vehicle. Money by itself means nothing. It's what you do with it that builds wealth. Step two: shift from consumer to creator. If every dollar you earn is already spent, you are living in a trap. Create value before you spend value. Step three: focus on leverage, not labor. Ask yourself daily, what can I create that earns when I'm not working? And step four: hang around people who think this way, because mindset is contagious. You can't think rich surrounded by people who fear money. The truth is, money isn't evil, and it's not magic either. It's a mirror. It reflects you, how you think, what you value, and how much control you really have. And if you want to change your financial reality, start by changing your beliefs. Because once you think like rich, you stop chasing money. The money starts chasing you. If this opened your eyes, drop a comment saying mindset shift. And if you want more deep dives like this, hit subscribe because the next one's gonna show you how the rich use debt to build freedom instead of fear.